So, hi, I'm Mohammed bin Salman, and this is Jackass.
What was that transition, man? I could kick Felix's ass.
I just had a horrible fucking idea, which is the clap emojis. Higher, more. Irish railroad barons.
we're gonna ram them and try and divert them off their course into Venezuelan waters, so then we can impound them.
Points for effort, I guess.
Oh yeah,
like they're just dragging a guy across the threshold of your house to invoke the castle doctrine on him is some fantastic international relations.
Come with me. I have a point to prove.
Where did you find this picture? Where did you find this picture? Who told you? Where did you find this?
The problem is polyester, obviously. The Bible said, do not mix fabrics.
Yeah.
And the Bible is right.
Yeah, the Bible also says you shouldn't be fucking whatever adding to this book. And then what did you do? What did you filthy papists do, Roz? Tell me what you did.
Look.
What?
Look,
no, come at me, bitch.
Jesus fucked
it up so bad that God had to come and fucking write a whole other book as a correction.
Come on now.
And that always struck me as just like the funniest idea, having to like authenticate your bomb. Just being on the phone to the police. Like, yeah, I kind of forgot the... Can you give me the security question, please?
What's your mother's maiden name? Just explosions going off all around you. Yeah.
Let's look at our hypothetical podcast. I'm going to call it Chapo Trap House of Sod. Right?
Okay. Me and my girlfriend saw you from across the barn to really dig your vibe.
Want to come home with us and have the most disappointing threesome of your life?
Do you like to party?
I've made my thoughts on the Dutch perfectly clear, especially for that one guy who got mad at me in the comments about it. I don't understand why you're making fun of the Dutch because I hate your stupid fucking country.
The entire flight crew, flight crew are distracted because they're all putting on blackface at the same time.
Yep. Oh, you got us confused with the Belgians, man. No one gives a shit. You're both low. I don't give a fuck. You're both low countries. I don't give a shit about.
Yes, this is the Falklands.
Just
right
me
here.
and an Argentinian man in a fist fight for property title of that one tiny island, representative of another set of tiny islands.
Mountain Dew Kickstart Energizing Orange Citrus.
Gamer.
Yeah. So after this, I'm going to go on Call of Duty and say the K word.
You're going to get the Miami Heat in trouble. And you're going to have to be like, I didn't know what that word meant.
The KLM flight was actually briefly airborne. And then immediately stalled and crashed into the runway.
Put that in the fucking epitaph, why don't you? Briefly airborne.
Briefly airborne. Very, very short period of time.
Yeah, technically a flight.
Are those acrobats?
No, those are just statues.
I think those are sculptures.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Oh, that's bullshit. You got that much money.
It's pretty well synchronized. I don't think that those are actual people.
Liam, you thought that like somebody paid a fucking Cirque du Soleil person?
My
job is to hang upside down.
I don't think that's the problem. Dubai can obviously pay for that to happen. The issue is that if you look at that photo, like just use your head. It doesn't look like those are real people. They're entirely white.
Yeah. My job is to get covered in entirely white foundation.
Look, I thought our boy on the left was on some sort of tether rope. You see, Ross, John Madden that for me. So you're saying Deutsche Bahn covered something up?
Yo, you're telling me that Deutsche Bahn,
if you can't trust the German Bahn, who can you
railway
trust
company
nowadays?
would turn a blind eye to people losing their lives?
I don't know if I believe that. I always known Deutsche Bahn to be on the up and up, very morally competent and good company.
Imagine this guy staring at the whole thing. The rest of the episode.
Because like the reason why you spread out a city is because you need to have like
redundancy.
Other redundancy in places that you can go through.
Redundancy.
If there's only one
redundancy.
The Department of Redundancy Department.
Redundancy.
Oh my god.
Listen. Muhammad, buddy. I know how to fix this problem. You just have to make me the steward of the mosque. Right? All your problems are going to go away.
We'll do some sort of reverse leasing deal.
Yeah.
You can consolidate your payments into one easy payment.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia puts a reverse mortgage on the Kaaba.
They all look like Ralph Steadman drawings in there, and they just like, I just want to fly across the Atlantic in the most inefficient way possible.
I want to fly across most of the Atlantic, but not all of it.
Yeah.
This is Al Maktoum International Airport. You know, the biggest and greatest city in the world needs the biggest and greatest airport in the world. Even bigger than Cleveland Hopkins. No, I must follow the procedure. If we do not
I was merely following orders. Where have I heard that before? So yes, Conductor Eichmann, you were saying.
It's going to be like this the whole time, fellas. I'm sorry.
I got a lot of generational trauma to work out, baby. But not a lot of time.
Good boy toy of the SS.
Hell yeah.
A new car will not come out without some fucking dipshit failson who has been installed as like colonel of the police of that emirate being like, yeah, I'll take 50, just slap a light on the top of it, and it fucking rules. I love it.
But in the meantime, they didn't build a sewage system.
They live in houses with like plumbing and streets, and
unlike Dubai. From the audio, they said it sounds like the Spanish aircraft controllers were watching soccer in the tower.
No, that's just how Spanish people talk to each other.
And that's what they say when the plane takes off successfully. Go! With stops in Augsburg, Nuremberg, Würzburg, Fulda, Kassel, Göttingen.
No, we don't stop at Fulda. We don't stop at Fulda. That's where the Ruskies
are. Yeah, much like the Third Guards Tank Army, we do not stop in Fulda.
No, I don't think Osama bin Laden is a NIMBY because he was an engineer, right?
That is true. You know, like he mostly built roads when he built stuff.
Yeah, so presumably he was not opposed to new development because he would make money off of it, right? I would say Osama bin Laden is a YIMBY. 248 passengers and crew died in the crash in Inferno, including, of course, everyone on the flight deck. Right now,
the only ones who deserved it.
I don't know. The rest of them are Dutch.
Germans, and in particular West Germans of the 1990s.
Oh my God.
I have to drive my Mercedes to the fucking business factories of Tehran. I'm going to fucking extract all of the value from East Germany for being communist, and then later they will vote for the AfD and I will be confused as to why.
Hans, I must have a car to bring me to the Hauptbahnhof.
Oh, not that one. That one still has the swastika flags. We are a peaceful people now, Hans. Peaceful and industrious. Don't give me a Juden driver, Hans.
For reference, I'm fine with orientalizing the Dutch.
The inscrutable Dutch.
I cannot explain enough how much I do not give a fuck about the Dutch. You made it all the way to the fucking World Cup in 2010, and you lost to the Spaniards of all fucking people.
This is your beef. It's not the like.
Yeah, I had money on that game.
Let's find out.
Oh god damn it!
Oh god damn it! No, there's more. Okay, all right.
I don't think you're Jewish. That's my favorite fucking stunt to pull on those people because they've never heard that shit before, and they're all just like, "What do you mean I'm not Jewish? Look at my funny hat and chaos." Shut the fuck up.
Only the ECA 884 reduces a German to a soup-like homogenate in under 30 seconds.
Good.
The Germans are not going to like this one.
Fuck them.
Just
watching. I didn't like the Holocaust very much.
The next time the NFL Players Association has a strike, they surround Lincoln Financial Field with 747s.
Yes.
A bunch of 747s going back and forth. The guys with just shotguns saying they're going scab hunting.
That's why we went with the laser, because we could only have one rod. There's only one God. You know how it works out. Talmud forbids us from multiple broad guards. We got in trouble enough for the golden calf. So we figured, all right, fucking space laser, right? You go do the estimates, you go talk to Rabbi Herschel, and he's just all, well, what do the cost estimates have to say about this? And then you're on the phone to the fucking hedge funds being like, guys, we have to fucking cover. And they're just like, no, we don't. You don't even come to shul. And then you're calling your mama at 2 a.m. and being like, Mom, can I please borrow $200 billion? I need it for the space laser. And your mom's just like, how come you never visit me? How come after your bar mitzvah we never saw you again? And I'm just out here at 2 a.m. talking to some asshole, New York rabbi who thinks he's fucking better than me. No. Okay, we went with the space laser. You're welcome.
They were like,
and what the hell are these cubes?
Well, you have to like circle around them 7 times. It's just tiny miniature Kabbas.
Just walking around.
Yeah, he wasn't serious enough.
Are you Monday morning quarterbacking this guy's act of like extremely silly domestic terrorism?
Yes. He didn't have a solution to the elevator problem, so he sort of just wrote in. No, he wrote in like the margin. Oh, well, we won't have problems with elevators because we'll have atomic elevators. Jorg Dittman was a passenger in the first car. He was just sitting in his.
What unit of the SS was he in?
No, this was like 1998. It would have been his dad who was in the SS.
Yes.
He was a national hero. He was part of the good Weimar.
When you're on a plane and it's delayed and you're getting mad and you're getting frustrated, it's not just you. The pilots are pissed off as well because it's usually some bullshit like this. They're usually having to look at a smug Dutch guy, be like, I take the aviation fuel.
Put on my blackface too thick.
Yeah. They're all just like they've jumped a country over on stereotypes and they're all Usa from The Simpsons. Don't touch me, I'm full of candy.
If you just did more Zionism, we would have better public transportation in the United States.
Small domino, the IDF rolls into Cairo. Big domino, you can get an electric train from fucking Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh.
I do want to say, as a Jewish man whose ancestors were murdered aboard cattle cars, it's nice to see how the Germans like it.
Just a passenger said, I want to go to Cuba. I have a bomb on the plane. They flew to Havana. Fidel Castro came out to meet the plane. He hung out with the pilot for a while.
Oh, that rules.
Yeah. Then they dropped the hijacker off and then they flew away.
All right, thanks.
And it's like, this render looks awful. I hope they don't build it. Oh, wait, they're already building it. If the standard here seems to be guilt by association. So I propose some kind of standardized method of cancellation based on the Nick Mullen number. Just how far removed are you from Nick Mullen?
And to the point that there was a hero of labor cow called Ubre Blanca. There's a big statue of her at the Cuban National Institute of Agriculture because she produced a lot of milk, which made delicious ice cream, which made Fidel very happy because he was a treat boy. And that rules so hard. It's what I would do if I was dictator. Reminds me of one of my favorite posts that I've done of like an entire thread of dumb but heart in the right place leftist guy who thinks that the school to prison pipeline is an actual pipeline.
Apparently they hung around to see if their assistance was needed in rescuing the sailors, and apparently it wasn't, and then they left.
See you later, nerds.
Just trying to fish a bunch of these guys out of the water, and they're like, fuck off. We'll wait for our guys.
You did this to yourself.
You have to bring in migrant laborers to do all your work.
Exactly, right? Much like podcast hosts, the members of the House of Saud don't like to work, so instead they have guests come on the show to fill time, and then afterwards they don't even. In 1976, 1 year after the bridge had washed out, Robinette decided to go for broke. He contacted the Foreign Aid Office of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
Oh my God. Dear Mr. Brezhnev. I like your eyebrows.
I implore you to save the great state of West Virginia.
Yeah.